60 Minutes was about to add a fourth correspondent, and it was going to be, I had heard these stories. It was going to be me or Harry Reasoner, and I never thought it would be me, and wasn't sure I wanted to come to 60 Minutes anyway, and thought it would be great if they chose Harry Reasoner, and then I could do CBS Reports. So indeed they did choose Harry to come back to 60 Minutes, and they asked me to take over CBS Reports. And it was great because, I mean, it was my idea of what I wanted to do. Documentaries, you know, Edward R. Murrow, Bill Moyers. I thought, this is great. I mean, what a great job. Not only do I get out of covering the White House and going to the same place every day, but I get to move out of Washington and come back to New York. So, you know, I think one of the first we did was the Boat People. I mean, we had a great run, and I think in the first maybe 18 months, we did 9 hours. You know, which is a lot. 18, 20 months, we did 9 hours. And the Boat People, going back to, you know, dealing with the Vietnamese refugees, you know, which was a story that I had a connection there. Going back to Asia, you know, it was great. I'm on the road again. I'm not sitting in an office. I'm not asking, what is the president doing today? What's the photo opportunity? Maybe I can shout a question at the president today. I was actually going out to cover stories. And the nice thing about it was that there was no one else there.
What do you mean no one else there?
Well, you're not covering a story that in a way that is cluster journalism.
Right.
You know, where there are not 10 camera crews there. I mean, the day that we arrived in Kuala Terengganu on the coast of Malaysia, there was they were taking the press to a refugee camp by bus. You know, and we said, look, we didn't come all of this way to go with a cluster to some refugee camp. Why don't we just sort of rest a bit, since I'd flown straight from New York through to Kuala Lumpur and then Kuala Lumpur down to Kuala Terengganu. And so I went into my room and went to sleep. Within an hour, somebody was banging on the door. All of the press had been at this beach resort waiting for a ship to come ashore. And they'd been there for a week or so, and no ships had come in. So this day, the government arranged a tour of a refugee camp because they've got all these press here, all this press who haven't seen a refugee. So let's take them to see refugees. We didn't want to do that. I went to sleep. Within an hour, somebody knocked on the door and said, hey, there's a ship coming ashore. And we went out, and there was a ship, and it was starting to go down. People were jumping over, and we went out and started to pull people in.
What were your favorites? What that period of time, the CBS Reports, the series that you did?
Oh, I would think that certainly the Boat People, the Boston Goes to China, which we did also in
the
1979.
Boston Symphony?
We went with the Boston Symphony Orchestra to China, and this is at a time when China was just beginning to open up. I mean, Democracy Wall was still up. And we were talking to musicians, Chinese musicians, who'd been in jail or who'd been sent to a farm during the Cultural Revolution because they played Beethoven, they played Western music. So I mean, it was an amazing, amazing period. And you know, it was wonderful to be there during that. I enjoyed the Boston Goes to China. I did a 2-hour piece called With All Deliberate Speed, which was an examination of race in America 25 years after Brown versus the Board of Education. We did an hour in Mississippi to be representative of the South, and an hour in Philadelphia to be representative of the North. But those were good. I did an hour in Saudi Arabia, which was mind-numbing and doing it because we were there for a month. Talk about a bureaucracy.
Oh, the Saudi.
The Saudis, yeah. But I think we had a good hour there. It was good. I enjoyed it.